Trump did an interview, and I can't imagine how this person managed to get it. Oh, gee, why did they get an interview? It's Laura Trump. Apparently, she knows someone in the family that was able to hook her up with her because her show was flagging crap and no one was tuning in. And of course, she gets Trump 11,000 rumbles. You guys, we've all seen how, like how lame these turnouts are. 800. Look at this. Look at the views. I mean, huge drop off. Is this the Rumble ratioing that we're seeing? 828,827 views, 11,000 rumbles. That's kind of pitiful. I've seen videos with way bigger views get way more rumbles in this, right? Rumble is like right-wing YouTube. That's a great way of putting it. Except it's really poorly constructed. It has next to no you have to sign in and join to see comments. You can't just look at them. It's all like free speech, but don't say anything. So obviously, this is gonna be money. Oh my God, that's loud. Chill out, Rumble. Laura Trump is Laura Trump. Trumpet Laura Trump. Trumpet Laura's got the right view, as in right and also not left and also correct, and also shitty logo that hides the V so it looks like right. Ew. I see. Right. Ew. Really? This is what you get for getting your graphics from Fiverr. Fucking Fiverr.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome.
Hi, it's so good to be there. Oh my God, what a great setting. Let me guess, you're at Mar-a-Lago in one of the viewing, like kind of the weird little ball presentation wedding areas, and you're dressed like a French mime who's escaped jail by cutting off his sleeves.
Welcome to The Right View. I'm Laura Trump, and I am so honored to have a very special guest with me
Your father-in-law?
this evening.
Melissa,
He
thank
really
you.
needs no introduction, but
Please give him one. Please go through it. Please, he does need an introduction because I don't know what the shit he's doing.
75 million of you out there voted for him.
Oh, excuse me. According to Mike Pillow, 80 million voted for him. It's a total fraud. What's going on?
You've been dying to hear from.
Yeah, the sound is awful. She's in this giant ballroom. The sound sucks. I don't get it. Why wouldn't you just have it in one of the rooms? Probably because he wanted a backdrop. I wonder if the QAnon post was, you think?
him. So here with me this evening, I'm honored to have our 45th
Are you honored to have him? Wait a minute. Did she check off the proper number of honors?
President of the United States, my father-in-law, President Donald J. Trump.
Oh my God, this is such a McCain moment.
Well, I just want to start by asking you the question that I get
asked most often. Why a profile shot? And how is it that he's 6'3" and you're taller than he is?
asked the most.
Is he shrinking?
Everyone wants to hear, how are you doing?
How are you doing? And are you allergic to...
How has it been down here?
Well, it's been great. It's Florida.
Well, at least he knows what state he's in. I'm orange. I've got a weird, like, let them eat cake French. This is what it's like to live inside a birthday cake.
Beautiful state. It's a well-run state. We had a tremendous election result in Florida, as you know, despite millions and millions of dollars being spent against us. And we had a big victory, I guess, unprecedented victory.
No, it was precedented. Other people have won Florida before. But yeah, I mean,
and as we did in many states, and we should have had in all states, but I guess that
yeah, everyone thinks they should have won all states. Every one state.
But still, in my opinion, being
Reagan showed nude pictures of women he slept with to other congressmen. That's not surprising. It will be breaking news if they were underage, and they will be.
Looked at by a lot of people. It was disgraceful what happened. That was a third world country voting system, and it's.
No, it wasn't. We had 96% paper trail this time around. It was the most secure election we've ever had. Every stupid argument you've heard from him or his supporters about that is complete ass gas.
It's a shame. It's an
It's actually awesome.
absolute shame, but it's being looked at by a lot of different people.
Is it?
But we had a fantastic.
It seems to be being looked at by the same fuckers every day.
Election. You know, I say I ran twice, and we did better the second time by a lot, by 12 million votes. And but I love Florida. It's a.
Way to stay on topic. Grandpa, over here.
It's just a spectacular place.
Isn't it? It's so spectacular.
Yeah, well, a well-run state, we would say.
Yeah, we would say it was well run.
I want to ask,
especially the hiding the actual death count. I mean, the level of skill.
you because it took 65 days for Joe Biden to finally come out and do a press conference. I know you've talked about this a little bit, but you were so transparent with the media. Whether they loved you or hated you, you were always happy to go up to them. I remember you would walk out.
Seriously, she must be fucking gigantic. Either that or he insisted on is he shrinking and melting? I'm not kidding.
You were on the way to Marine One and say, let's go, ask me questions, no note cards, nothing. We saw the...
Yeah, gibberish, flailing, a lot of griping. Why would you need... He even had note cards multiple times where we saw that, like, don't forget to shit on this reporter.
Press conference that Joe Biden had, if you can even call it that.
I would call it was a press conference.
He had a lot of notes. He had
yeah, details, facts. He also pulled some just from memory, but he also related to them directly.
With people's faces and names on it, who to call on, who not to call on. What was your takeaway from that press conference?
Let me guess, it's disgraceful, and it's a disgrace, and it's just a disgrace.
Well, I think the press conference is probably the least of it. People saw a lot of things happening long prior to the press conference, and even the trip up the stairs, up and down, 3 times.
Did you watch the video a bunch of times? Is that hang with you? So he gets a 1 point. No, all right.
There were a lot of things.
Laura's 5'11". She is? How is she 5? Honest to God, has he been replaced with a miniaturized version?
A lot of things are going on, so we'll see what happens. I hope.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. A lot of things are going on. We'll see what happens. Cool. All right. Well, Eric is 6'5". He's 6'1". Yeah.
He's in good shape. I hope he's okay for the sake of the country.
Yeah.
He's fine.
But I think people get it, and I think.
I think people get it. Yeah, they totally do. They're with it.
Very importantly, the things that he said, and whether we debated or whether he just made statements, all of those things were not what he's doing. This is more liberal.
Yeah, no, he actually is. I think this is just the shit in your ears defense. Even the Keystone Pipeline thing, which is probably where he's going to go because he harps on that all the time. He wasn't going to attack energy. He didn't say he was going to attack it. Keystone's been on the chopping block since Biden was Obama's VP.
Liberal, more radical than Bernie Sanders ever had in mind. Bernie could not be happier. But this is something Bernie would have...
Well, I mean, he would have liked to be president, I suppose.
Never suggested what's happening. He never talked about what he's doing to destroy energy and the...
What'd I say? It's the same... Jesus Christ. You just flicked the record 5'10", 290 pounds. Seriously, she's 5'11". What kind of Tom Cruise bullshit are we seeing here?
Second Amendment now is going to be next. You're going to just...
Yeah, right at... he didn't say he was going to do anything about guns. Yeah, he did.
They're going to destroy the Second Amendment. All of the things that they're doing are things, raise taxes at a level, the biggest tax increase in history.
Well, no, not at all.
Those were not things that were discussed at all during the election.
Yeah, well, you brought up a good point.
No, well, so clearly you weren't listening? Yeah. Is she is she on a? They're on the same kind of chairs. The chairs are the same height, right? Is the floor just shitty and sloped at Mar-a-Lago?
Point. It was actually a little upsetting as an American to see him trip up the stairs so many times. But the media
Yeah, I could tell you're just brokenhearted.
coverage of that versus the way they covered you every year being obsessed with your physical. I remember when you were at West Point walking down a slippery slope,
Yeah, it was a slippery slope.
you know, there were no handles on either side. I know
No, it's terrible, and
you
yeah,
had slippery shoes on. So you took your time to go down. For a week straight, all they talked about was, are you fit to be president of the United States? Which
no, I mean they were linking it with your jibber jabber and your wandering thoughts and your inability to hold a conversation with anybody.
we know is absolutely ridiculous.
It is. I mean, it's not like you're shrinking or something.
But they haven't given the same treatment or scrutiny to Joe Biden when it comes to that. I think Americans are
He released his medical records.
a little bit frustrated by that, and I think we should be demanding transparency, especially when it does come to the health of the president
Yeah. The world needs to know if his ankle is okay.
of the United States.
Well, you know, when you do speeches, you sort of know if you did well or not well or however it is. And I think
Well, not well, somewhere between well and not well. Medium well,
made my best speech, or certainly one of them at West Point.
you think?
And
If I do say so my damn self.
it's pouring, raining, beautiful.
Yeah, tell us the whole story. It is good. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm surprised this didn't get more rumbles.
But raining, and it's wet, and it was just a sheet of steel. No pleats in it, no nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
And it was like an ice skating rink. And the last thing I wanted to do was go down. And I saw that, and they had no railings, really brilliantly, put up. Whoever.
So you were working with people, and your front people were doing their job, and they coordinated everything beforehand, and you're running a well-oiled machine, and you're a true leader, and your team didn't even think that in rain, if he's going to walk down that ramp at the end, there might need to be, as a leader of the free world, you wouldn't want to put some tack, stick tack on there, or make sure he's wearing rubber sole shoes. You wouldn't have. Okay.
Whoever put it up.
Yeah, somebody. I don't know. Probably Russia, China.
They ought to be ashamed of themselves. So
They are. Xi Jinping built, that ramp. Ugh.
I'm next to a general who has big rubber shoes on.
I like wood.
And a good guy, by the way, the common.
He's great. I mean, he's a great man. You can tell by his rubber shoes. This is a terrible two-shot. Absolutely. What is this? What is this shot? Why is there a giant bear? Let's put this plant here. That'll look nice. I mean, honestly, are they socially distancing? It's his daughter-in-law. They don't even wear masks. None of them believe this shit. Why aren't they? Why isn't there a table? What is happening? Did he say he'd only do the interview if he can, catch a glimpse up her skirt if she uncrossed? It's weird.
Commandant. And I say, General, I'm not grabbing you, but I may have to grab you because this
I like wood.
Q snatch.
is a sheet of ice. So I went down inch by inch like this. I should have just run down the stairs.
You could
They
have.
made such a big deal,
Yeah.
and they never covered my speech. That was, I thought, one of the
The speech was on television. What are you talking about?
best speeches, and they never covered the speech. Never
It is a stage. It's at Mar-a-Lago in one of these. I mean,
even discussed it. I didn't see it. All they do is they have me walking down inch by inch down this ramp.
he's still chafed about this. They keep playing this video of me walking down the ramp. It's fucking aggravating.
I said, the next time have stairs, please.
Yeah, and next time there was none.
And it was one of those things.
Yeah, it was.
but-
It was one of those things where you're like, next time, get me some stairs.
They covered that for weeks. And this guy falls down 3 times. He couldn't get up. The 3rd time, he didn't know where the hell he was. And
He managed to. Sorry. Did he walk off the edge of the stairs, or did he keep going? Oh, he went up. He continued up, and he got in the plane. So he clearly knew where he was. What?
it was not on the evening news.
Why wouldn't they make it on the evening news? I can't.
Other than a couple of networks.
Yep.
Other than a couple of networks.
But it wasn't on ABC, CBS, NBC.
You imagine this asshole flipping channels looking for footage of Biden tripping going up the stairs? By the way, they all played it.
I don't think.
I don't think. I mean, I'm just going to say it as if.
And it got almost no coverage. It's incredible. Now,
it is incredible. It's almost like they were too busy covering the fact that he got a $1.9 trillion AIDS package passed. Right.
Everybody got to see it because one thing, it gets out there one way or the other. But it was actually a pretty sad situation.
Yeah, it was a sad situation. I mean, it's terrible thinking of all the contracts the United States lost because of that situation.
I want to know the truth. It was also sad from the standpoint that we don't have freedom of the press anymore.
We what? We don't have freedom of the press anymore because they won't plaster Biden tripping up. They just played it.
Yeah, well, that is for sure.
I mean, I remember when Gerald Ford fell down the stairs. That was such a big deal. Well, actually, it helped ruin his presidency. You want to really know the truth. I think it was really every time.
No, Chevy Chase making a gag out of it on SNL did
Every time
that.
you see him, they show him now falling down the stairs. And with Biden, they don't want to show it at all. It is a
Makes me so mad.
Honest media that we have.
It's terrible, the dishonest media.
Yeah, well, they certainly allow.
I mean, is the argument here that Gerald Ford was a terrible president because he fell down some steps? Is that the argument?
Allowed him to go unchecked throughout the campaign.
We're 6 minutes into this, and they have done. We're almost halfway through this shit, and they haven't gotten off of Biden tripping going up a flight of stairs.
Never called him out on anything. We know that
they don't call him out on not being able to walk stairs in leather shoes on a particular day.
Big tech, social media outlets were censoring things. Jack Dorsey of Twitter just recently said that it was a mistake to censor the Hunter Biden laptop story during the campaign, which we all knew was such a big deal. We all knew could.
Yeah, it was huge. Talk about that for a second. Like the fact that it doesn't exist and that Rudy Giuliani paid $5 million for it when they were only selling it for $3 million, and that he still won't show it to anybody because everybody he has showed it to has said this is fucking fake.
Could be used against the Biden family, Joe Biden, should he ever become president of the United States. But maybe give me your take on where we stand.
Yeah, where are we on you coming back and being magic president by August?
In terms of censorship for conservatives, because we are censored. There is no
question. Like, it's honestly, we create the greatest media. This beautiful shot, and they don't want to carry clips of it. They're a daughter-in-law interviewing her ex-president father, who is going to spend almost half the interview bitching about how he actually won the election and Biden trips going up the stairs and it's not plastered all over the news. And I mean, look at the gorgeous media that they are presenting. The media should just interrupt programming and put on this. I mean, this is beautiful. The way it's not quite centered, the way they just fucking put a big planter in the middle of it, the way she looks gigantic and he looks tiny, even though she's 5'11". I don't know what's happening.
No question as conservatives.
None.
We are censored on social media.
You're totally censored just for being conservative.
They are always
It's not, of course, that you're being anti-vaxxers or pushing fraud about the election. It's just that you're conservative. You know what I mean? It's your tax ideas.
Checking everything. I feel like you might have something coming up. I don't know if you're ready to make an announcement yet, but that will.
Why don't you know if you're ready? It's your father-in-law. Or is Eric just not done coming up with what's supposed to be his dad's plan?
Help allow conservatives to have freedom of speech, maybe a possible social media platform.
Well, I think the censoring really, when they didn't show Hunter Biden all of the things that were happening with Hunter, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to get somebody in trouble. He had some difficulties, okay? Yeah. But when they didn't show any of that during the campaign, they just cut it out, like canceled, I guess you'd call it cancel culture, right?
I see. They canceled the Hunter Biden. I'm sorry. Have you ever seen the laptop from hell or the hard drive that Rudy allegedly has? Because he won't share it with media. You know who canceled it and censored it? Fucking Rudy.
But when they didn't show that, To me, that was really the beginning, because it was bad. It's been fake for a long time.
Yeah, but that was really the beginning of the end. This is the end.
But it used to be fake where they'd come up and I'd come up and you'd fight, or somebody else, but you'd fight.
Yeah, they'd be fake, and then you'd be fake, and then everybody'd be faking, and I'd fake a jab, and then they'd rope-a-dope me, and then I'd have 2 pieces of cake and 2 scoops of ice cream and smear Cheetos on my face and shit my diaper, and then I'd be like dodging and bobbing and weaving.
Fight. And the public can believe one way or the other. They might believe me, they might believe the other side, or they might believe an anchor or whoever's into. But they didn't bring Hunter up. It was just.
They didn't bring Hunter up. God.
Really canceled. And later on, polls came out that showed it would have made a 10-point difference. A 10-point difference. That's a lot of difference.
Amongst who?
To me, that's where it actually began.
If our lies had just managed to get out, it would have manipulated the electorate and in our favor. But damn it.
This new phase. The new phase is you have something, and they won't put it out.
That is a new phase that we're going through. It's just a phase, though. The media will grow out of it.
And that's whether it's scandalous or whether it's anything, whether it's just good news. They won't put it out.
Yeah, they don't like good news. It's terrible. Sunshine and rainbows. If it bleeds, it leads.
And
unless it's if you get a Care Bear or something like that.
It's a very interesting time. Now, we're getting it out. I'm getting word out by using press releases. I put it out by a press release, and everybody's picking it up.
Yeah.
It's more elegant.
It's totally elegant. Oh, my God. Yeah, so let's see. Trump. Let's see the elegance, shall we? Trump press release. Let's see. Palmer's new press release. Donald J. There we go. What's the latest one? Statement from Donald J. It's the Save America PAC. Are they in order? What's happening? Safe Harbor deadline. New video promoting Iowa caucus attention. Okay. Statement from January. Okay. This is the yeah. This is elegant. I would agree. Let's look at how elegant this is, guys. Statement from President Donald J. Trump, former, but yeah, okay. The New York Times report regarding comments Vice President supposedly made to me today is fake news. He never said that. The Vice President and I are in total agreement that the Vice President has the power to act. The November 3rd election was corrupt and correct. Okay. Totally elegant. Way better than Twitter.
As a president, et cetera, et cetera. To me, it's more elegant. I think it's getting the word out about the same. You do less of it because it's a little bit, and you can do longer. You can make it a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's the great thing about press releases. They don't have to be 240 characters.
Not that it should be that much longer. Usually, it doesn't have to be too much longer, but you can do it longer. And yeah,
you can. I think, and
deeper and longer.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
I like wood.
Q snatch.
Transvestites.
I think we're getting the word out. And in addition,
the word is getting out. The words are getting out. Not as many words, but sometimes more words. But you don't need more words. Fucking hell. We're 8 minutes and 37 seconds into this bullshit.
That, everybody wants me to be on the site because we had 90 million people on one. We had, I think, 36 million people on POTUS. We had sites of 10.
They're the same people.
He's
going to be on Frank.
That doesn't include Facebook. And then we had one of the
Now, why would it include Facebook?
Biggest on Facebook, maybe the biggest, but one of the biggest on Facebook. So we had, 200 million people, I guess, or more.
Mm-hmm.
If you add up all the different sites and pretend they don't overlap at all, like, what kind of an asshole thinks that way?
So everybody wants me to go in their site because the problem is they have...
Yeah, I do. Yeah, totally. I would love to do an interview with you. I can't promise the same production value. I can't look like you're, in a French aristocracy birthday cake with a plant between the two of us, where I at 5'9" look, a foot taller than you. I can't promise that, but I'll try.
They have sites, but they have no people. And
Yeah, just shit on you, Parler.
Twitter has gotten very boring.
It is. It's so boring now.
Because I can see Twitter anytime.
Because you're
I want.
gone. They miss you.
Well, it's said
No one misses them. It's actually quite nice.
to have gotten very boring, and a lot of people are leaving Twitter. But
Yeah, right-wing psychopaths, and they're being shown the door.
it's become boring and really not. The point of view is terrible, and people are leaving Twitter. A lot of people are leaving Twitter. So I think there's room for something, and I bring a lot of
Yeah, you'll bring a lot of people with you.
with me. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, in a couple weeks.
I must tell you, I love what we're doing now. I'll put a statement or two out, or 3 or 5, but
Or 12.
I'll do them in a day.
3 or 5 statements a day.
And I'll just dictate something out, write it out, put it out, and I do it in the form of a press release. It gets picked up by everybody.
Yeah, it's so great. The comment sections are the best.
So maybe we don't even need social media. You're gonna.
Yeah, maybe you don't even need it. I would recommend staying away from it entirely. I'm sorry this shot is this shit. I gotta shrink this down a little bit because her head is getting lost behind it. Because apparently, this is like, you know how Zach Galifianakis had between two ferns? This is like on either side of an iris, or I don't know if that's real or not.
You're gonna.
On either side of a fake plant.
We're gonna go this route,
I don't
perhaps.
think we do, and I may be wrong, but I don't think we do. But I think social media has become so corrupt that people aren't believing it anymore, really.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there was so much to believe,
I mean, a lot of it has become very corrupt. It's really become like the media itself, very corrupt.
That's true.
We don't have
It is true. Thanks for bringing... Sorry, an orchid. Yeah, beg your pardon. An orchid between two morons, right?
freedom of the press anymore. You know, we had freedom of the press, and it's a terrible thing to say, but we really don't
I don't think it's a real orchid, though.
have freedom of the press anymore. We have a corrupt press with a point of view, and that's all they want to do is sell the point of view. And
But enough about Fox and Newsmax and OAN.
why they want to sell it, because when you think of it,
Yeah.
defund the police, open borders. Look at our borders. Look what's
Terrible.
happening. We had the borders the best they've ever been.
Oh, God, here we go.
The wall.
COVID had the borders, quote unquote, the best they've ever been. And just having the people on the other side of the border, like children starving, is not impressive.
Could have been finished in a
Michelle.
very short period of time, a matter
Totally. I mean, it's almost,
of weeks. Just close up the little sections that we
yeah, it's those little sections they keep pouring through, except they don't.
had to leave open to bring equipment back, et cetera, et cetera. And
Back from where?
the wall could have been finished so quickly. The wall is the best thing. We built almost 500 miles of wall, and it's been a
Well, 25.
tremendous success. And all they have to do is finish
If it's a tremendous success, then why do we have a problem?
it up. Now you can put security there, and you have it fine. But the wall is better than anything you can do.
Well, apparently not. If it's worse than it's ever been, and the wall is up now.
It's really worked. But we have the best southern border in terms of what we're talking about that we've ever had.
And yet we don't.
And in one day, he said, "Everybody come up."
Did he say everybody come up? Did he?
And once he said that, and what's going on now is nothing compared to what's going to take place during the summer. During the summer,
No, actually, the numbers go down during the summer.
you're going to see things that nobody's ever seen before.
Like an asteroid hitting the Earth? What do you mean?
It's very upsetting, very
Templeton,
hard
very
to
thank
see.
you so
dangerous.
much. Thank you so much. Hold on. You guys are lovely today. Thank you, Templeton. Gotta keep the Kachinko and smash that. Yeah, don't. In honor of Templeton's rats, please smash the like, give a thumbs up.
And it's very bad for our country.
One day, if we work very hard and I reach 1,000 patrons and we get to kind of some level of a nose above water in doing the show regularly, I will be able to afford great production value like this. Me and a plastic orchid and a guest 6 feet apart while we don't, when my guest and I both apparently don't believe we need to be.
And they're destroying our country.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, by the way, that we're allowing illegal immigrants to pour over our southern border, it seems like the woke left is focused more on things like canceling Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, bring it. Thank you. We're 11 minutes in and we hadn't brought up Mr. Potato Head yet.
Canceling Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah, I wrote, did you guys write the letter to get the Dr. Seuss books canceled? Because I was late to the game and I was like, oh, I'm so glad. Oh.
Than actually doing things that are going to positively impact the American people. Meanwhile, our adversaries.
Well, thanks, babe. Food arrived.
Like China.
Oh my God, that thing is enormous.
Yeah, that's what I brought you a knife.
And a fork and a, yeah.
I got a fish taco too.
All right. Thanks, my love. She brought me my girl brought me a burrito. Today is apparently burrito day, according to my son, so we have to have burritos.
Time to build up their economies, to do things for their people. How do you think we're being viewed right now around the world, whether by our adversaries or our allies?
Yeah.
How do you think the United States is
regarded
right now?
We look terrible standing in the world. I mean, they're laughing at us. They have to be laughing at us, right?
I think that they can't believe what's happening. They don't believe it. They don't.
Yeah, they're overjoyed and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe it. This bloviated asshole has, served one term, got impeached twice, and now he's talking to his own daughter-in-law on a shitty show with an orchid between the two."
Can you imagine China looking at us and they're talking about Dr. Seuss, and that was like the big thing of the day?
Do you realize that China doesn't allow, like the love? Oh, thank you, Aggie. You do realize one of the books that was canceled is one that had basically a racist depiction of a Chinese person in it, and that's one of the reasons why the Dr. Seuss company decided to take it out. Nobody wrote a fucking letter. China censors books all the time.
But it's long beyond Dr. Seuss. They want to.
Yeah, it is. We're already, like, are there any books anymore?
Take down monuments to heroes. They want to get rid of our history, obliterate our great history. Whether it's
and by our great history, he means Robert E. Lee.
It's good or bad, you learn from it. You have to.
Yeah, you must put up monuments to Hitler and Mussolini and Stalin because that's the only way you're going to learn from history. We don't teach it in school anymore, so you have to have. With plain tea, Hal. Plain tea. Thank you.
Learn from history.
Right.
And some is bad, and some is good.
And you need to have a statue for the bad stuff.
I would say most of it's good, but they want to obliterate our past. And once you do that, you don't have much of a country left. I think that China is very happy now, and I think that Russia and a lot of other countries are very happy. They're looking at what's going on, and they don't believe it.
What are they happy about? They've been trying to get rid of those Robert E. Lee statues forever.
Yeah, it's very scary. I think for a lot of Americans, they don't know where we will be ultimately. I think they felt.
Yeah, I don't know where we'll be. It's like we've all collectively as a country tripped falling up the stairs, and now I don't know where I am.
Very safe with you as president.
Yeah, I felt safe, but largely because I don't have a pussy.
Q-snatch.
You protected our country, whether it was our southern border, whether it was standing up around the world to people that meant us ill.
Not Russia, obviously. You kissed his ass every time, and you always gave him the bottom of your hand. You gave him the palm up.
And now we don't really know where we are. I want to move on.
Yeah, I don't know where you are. Are you at a French elementary school? Where the fuck are you?
On to something.
By the way, built the strongest military.
Yes.
The strongest military.
Rebuilt the military. We have a military now.
It's a 10-year budget. We haven't even gotten close to it. What are you talking about? And you sold a bunch of shit.
Like we've never had before. The equipment is the best, all made in the USA.
F-35 is made in 6 different countries.
We have Space Force. We did so much. Biggest tax cuts in history.
No. Again, not true. Please do the VA, just so I can, for old time, just for old time's sake, I want to bring up the 2014 VA choice act.
Biggest regulation cuts in history.
not true either.
And that's why the base is so strong right now. That's why the base of the country, our base is strong, but the base of the country is strong. The foundation is strong. And that's why it can do so well, where we have the highest stock market we've ever had. But that's going to erode, just like energy.
Oh, so we have you did great stuff and it created a great foundation, but the foundation's going to erode because you say so? Because because people have been taking their winnings out of the stock market, but it started back up again today.
We're energy independent. In 3 months from now, we won't be energy independent.
Okay, start the clock. It is now April 1st. By July 1st, we're not going to be, in theory, we're not going to be energy independent. Good to know.
Because of what they're doing. And they never talked about this. They never said this. In fact, they said the opposite. They really lied during the campaign a lot about a lot of things.
Like what?
I did. Well, we see gas prices already starting to go up, so it's already starting.
Yeah, now that people are using their cars again?
Very substantially.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to ask, because people ask me this too, will we ever be able to attend another Trump rally?
Is that what they ask you?
Oh, yeah, sure. I think so.
Yeah.
In fact, we're thinking about doing one relatively soon, just to let
kick the dust off,
everybody know that there's hope in the future. Look, when you look at what's happening to our country.
Because you got to run, if you're going to create this bullshit that you're going to run in 2024, you have to actually spend some of the money or people are going to stop sending you cash. So basically, these are like, they're not rallies so much as little mini live telethons.
Country with all of the ideas and things. When you look at these Democrat-run cities where the crime is up 300, 400, 500%, and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah, what's the actual number again? I mean, 300, 400, 500%. You're pulling that out of your ass, but what's the actual number? Do we go from 12 to 45 because people are going back to normal life and all that kind of stuff is happening? You mean that kind of thing? Oh, by the way, the Democrat-run cities, the ones that generate the most money for the entire economy. You mean those?
Shootings, killings, murders, rapes, they're up to 200%, 250%. No, it's a shame. What's going on is just
yeah, Florida's a shithole.
Very sad. Democrat-run cities.
Yeah.
And now, if you have a Democrat-run country, what's going to happen?
It's going to be. I mean, rape is going to go up 250% now that I guess its biggest cheerleader is no longer in office.
It's bad.
So we might be able.
It is bad. It's bad. It's bad. Thanks for bringing it up, though.
To attend a Trump rally.
Sure. I mean, I love doing.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Anyways, rape and murder and stuff, but Trump rallies, yeah, totally.
But more importantly, I think we get the word out. That's incredible.
We had a great foundation, but within 60 days, anybody who wants can clearly get across the border without any hesitation whatsoever.
When we have rallies, if you won a state. Yeah, I can tell if we're going to win a state by a rally.
Apparently not.
When we set up a rally 24 hours before and we have 35, 40,000 people show up, in Florida we had 55,000. In Butler, Pennsylvania, we had 52,000. When you have 52,000 people show up quickly for a rally, and they got there for 4 days, you set it up 4 or 5 days early.
It's almost like your followers have nothing to do. By the way, you do realize that, Nickelback does these kind of numbers, and they charge admission.
And the people line up 4 days in advance. They stay in tents and things. It's the most incredible thing. And you get there, you leave.
Yeah, it's a cult, Donnie.
You say, there's no way I lost Pennsylvania. There's no way.
Yeah, there is.
No way you can lose Pennsylvania. And we didn't, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
We didn't.
Yes, you did.
So, it was a hoax. The whole thing was a hoax. And it's too bad, but...
yeah, it's just too bad. I mean...
These rallies are great.
Yeah, they're great. They're totally great. It's like a dipstick for dipsticks.
It's never been anything...
You just pull it out and go, well, yeah. We got, I don't know if that's oil or tar, but it's up there on the line. Shouldn't you wipe it and then dip it again? No. You're just pulling it out. Look how much... There's oil. There's this much oil in the engine. Well, and the mark's down here. Well, you're supposed to wipe it off and then put it back. No. It's...
anything. I think we did 56 of them, in a short number of days. And they're big. That's not easy to do.
No.
When you
No, it's very difficult.
think of, you do 3 a day, 4 a day in some cases. And the last couple of days, I think we did 5.
I was with you for a lot of those.
Right, 5.
Yeah, and they were really depressing and weak and lame and boring, and I'm bringing my food over here because why not?
And then you go home and you watch the results, and at 10:30 the election was over, we won, and then at 3 o'clock in the morning, you say, what happened?
God damn, this dude just rambles the same shit. You know what I mean? This is almost like the rallies, I gotta say. This is almost exactly like the rallies, just bloviating the same crap over and over. Yeah, I don't know that he knows who she
And then you look at these massive dumps where you're going,
Massive dumps.
you look at the votes, and then you have these massive dumps. No, it was a corrupt, fraudulent election.
It's like he wanders around Mar-a-Lago as like a ghost. It was stolen from me, Jacob Marley.
Well, that brings me to my final question
Thank God.
for you. The beginning of this interview, I said, this is one thing everyone always asks me. The other question people all want to know, and I know you're not ready to answer it yet, but do we have hope that there's a possibility to see Donald Trump run again in 2024?
You do have hope.
No, he's saying that because he can't raise money unless he says yes.
That I can tell you. You do have hope. We love our country. This country.
Please run again. Please run again. Please. He's not going to run again. Please run again. Please run again.
We all owe a lot to our country, but now we have to help our country.
Yeah, we got to help it, by trying to undermine it at every turn and not wearing masks and not getting vaccinated and.
And we were there. We were so good. What we did with Iran, what we did with China, we were all set to do some great things. And
yeah, in a couple of weeks, that healthcare plan, mwah.
And then you see what's going on right now. China treated our representatives last week in Alaska with such tremendous disrespect. They never talked to me that way. You look at North Korea. I got along with Kim Jong-un. And for 4 years, we had no problem. I mean, I was told.
No, they just built their missiles and created more nukes and launched shit. Yeah, there's no problem.
By President Obama and everybody else that North Korea was our biggest problem. We're going to end up in war with North Korea if that group stayed in. And for 4 years, we had no problem with North Korea. Now, all of a sudden, you see the problem is starting again. No, we have a great country. We have to help our country.
And so we may see a Trump run again in 2024. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I want to say thank you.
Yes, stay tuned for more of the excellent programming. 2 assholes and an orchid.
Thank you so much for joining us here. We are honored. You were the first. This is the first interview you have done on camera since you left office.
Oh.
It's so weird. I don't even know how she even. She got the number. Look at him. She's like, "This is the first one you've gotten."
Did call in a favor for
Like he just. Eric, really? Is this the first one I've done on camera? Shit.
this one directly from you. So thank you for joining us. And we hope that you will come back soon. And we hope.
I did call in a favor directly from you. Why did he owe you a favor?
Hope to hear from you on either a press release or a social media outlet very soon.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a little while.
I'll see you in a little, because we're going to be, like, after the interview, we go back to being father-in-law, daughter-in-law, I think. Christ. There's definitely a very distinct, like, CBN Pat Robertson thing happening with him.
And for 4 years, we had no problem with North Korea. Now, all of a sudden, you see the problem is starting again. No, we have a great country. We have to help our country.
And so we may see a Trump run again in 2024. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here. We are honored. You were the first. This is the first interview you have done on camera since you left office.
Oh.
I did call.
Oh. Like, he doesn't even know. Look at his face. He doesn't even know this is his first on-camera interview.
In a favor for this one directly.
So why did you wait longer? If Biden not doing a press conference is a big deal, why did you wait this long to do an on-camera interview?
From you. So thank you for joining us. And we hope that you will come back soon, and we hope to hear from you on either a press release or a social media outlet very soon.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a little while.
Oh, God. I'm shocked that didn't get more rumbles. Seriously, a third of that was, why don't they cover Biden running up the stairs? I went up a ramp and everybody bothered me about it. I'm having a bite of this taco because it looks fantastic. Now, oh God. Sorry, I got an iron constitution. I'll be all right. I just got yipe. Yeah, completely creepy as an interview, complete waste of time. And the fact that it was in, I mean, that sums up everything. What is that? None of these assholes believe in COVID. They've all had the vaccine, right? What is he just doing this because they're attempting to look like he's still president and they've got to watch out for his health?